We're fighting back.
People are fighting back against the police. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
I support law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I'm a kind because I understand both sides. Everybody have a role to play.
What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. The FBI head, Christopher Wray, recently said that the skyrocketing police murder rate isn't getting enough attention. So today we came to Los Angeles to talk about it. But before we get started, huge shout out to iTarget Pro for sponsoring this video. Nico, are we ready to get started? Yep. Let's go talk to some people. Last year, there was a 59% increase in police murders, as well as a 36% increase in ambush-style attacks. Ambush attacks on police officers this year are up 36%. So, in your guys' opinion, what on earth is going on?
We're fighting back.
People are fighting back against the police. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
We have gotten answers saying like, oh, good, people are fighting back against police. What do you think about that?
Well, we may be the wrong people to be answering that question. Our daughter is a police officer.
You're a mama bear to a police officer. What are your thoughts about people saying that?
It makes my blood boil.
People fighting back. But I don't think that should apply to all the police officers. You see what I'm saying?
I feel as though people are starting to revolt against the police, and they feel like since the police aren't doing stuff, that they think they should be doing, they're gonna take matters into their own hand and become more police themselves.
We've talked to people today that have been like, oh, hey, people are fighting back against police. Good. What do you think about that?
Not good. No. In a civilized society, there needs to be order.
I think many people are convinced that the police system is broken in itself. I've noticed that this is the case here in the US, but also in Germany, for example, that people have that feeling. And I can imagine that this is why police murder rates go up.
They're just tired of a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And this generation with these youngest, they're crazy. I don't know if it's the food, I don't know what it is.
So you think it might be a little bit of retaliation?
I think it's social media too.
You think it's social media too? What do you think?
I think everyone needs God in their life. I think it comes from their home. I don't have an opinion because I'm not sure that information is accurate.
Right.
So.
Do you want me to show you that it's accurate and then you can...
No, I'm not interested.
I mean, I support law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I'm a kind because I understand both sides. Everybody have a role to play.
Right.
But you gotta give respect to get it.
You mentioned that you're a convict.
I'm a convict.
You mentioned you're a two-time. And you also mentioned that you respect police officers. Now, the last couple years, there's been a significant drop in unarmed shootings from police officers.
I think that right there.
But there's been an increase in how many officers are being murdered.
That right there is unacceptable. Yeah. Period. Murder is murder. Ain't no other way around it.
All right, guys, let's take a second to talk about today's sponsor. Violent crime is skyrocketing all over as a result of the left's soft on crime policies. You need to be prepared and properly trained to defend yourself and your family. Thankfully, there's iTarget Pro. This revolutionary system allows you to dry fire practice with your actual firearm anytime in the safety and privacy of your own home. And it comes in all major calibers. As many of you know, trips to the range are expensive, and with inflation causing the price of ammunition to literally skyrocket, this will save you a ton. Dry fire training helps develop muscle memory, sharpen target reaction speed, and more. Just download iTarget's app, load the laser bullet into your firearm, and start training. You guys, let's support businesses that support us and make videos like mine possible. iTarget is giving all of my subscribers a discount. Go to itargetpro.com right now and save 10% plus get free shipping with the offer code Klug. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it literally pays for itself in one day. That's the letter I, targetpro.com, itargetpro.com, offer code Klug. Let's get back into it.
I'm a two-time kind. I've been there. And I also have friends that talk cops are guilty before they even pull up just because they are a cop. So when I see murder...
And you're saying you're not like that?
No, I'm not like that.
I feel like their mindset is either got or be got.
It sounds like you guys think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely... I feel like they should, it's casualties on both sides. I definitely feel like the police are wrong for some of the stuff that they do, and I definitely feel like that, the people that are revolting against the police are wrong about the stuff they do too. It's a better way to handle everything.
I gotta look at who you are, not by what you're wearing, about what you're doing. If anybody's gonna murder a cop, hey man, that's up. I don't support that. Because here's the deal. I don't know what those cops did, and just because they're a cop, they shouldn't pay for what other cops did that was wrong. Just because you get one bad apple doesn't mean you gotta throw them all away.
There are some bad apples. It's just the way it is. In any industry, you will find those that don't quite do their job the way they should. But that's in any industry. And unfortunately, I get it. The cops should be held to a higher standard. But you've got some darn good cops out there. You know, people that have done this for years and years.
It's kind of like a post-traumatic stress disorder. Trauma in the past with cops, so they're already, but that doesn't mean that one cop is guilty of what other bad cops done. And they may not even bad cops, may had anxiety and handled the situation wrong.
Right.
The best thing for you to do is stop listening to these dumbass rappers and stop listening to this bullshit and just do what they say until the situation controlled. If you want to handle it and you feel been mistreated, that's what lawyers and that's what walking away safe is for.
I personally support police. I know that previous President Donald Trump support officers when Biden after BLM was not very supportive. That's why my opinion that as much we will support police, we will have less murders, less criminal in Los Angeles.
I have cops that respect me today. They look at me like, "What's up, Franklin?" Like, I was speeding one day. "Where you on your way to?" "Man, you know you going fast." I said, "Sir, I'm on my way to work." "You on your way to work?" I'll let you do 40 miles over if you because it's a respect thing. You see what I'm saying? I know they have a job to do. If I get caught because I fuck up, that ain't their fault. It's my fault. See, real cons take accountability for their actions. Everything has a consequence to it. But ain't no fucking way I'm gonna disrespect a man first. Because a cop is a man. And he's a father, probably husband second. That uniform is how he provides for his family.
Do you think it's reasonable, or you do not think it's reasonable that there's people retaliating? Just want to make sure.
Actually,
I don't want people to assume anything.
Me, I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm an eye for an eye type of individual.
You're saying eye for an eye. The last couple years,
Yeah.
right?
I also think it goes back to training. Like, again, home training for the people and proper training.
You need more money for that, by the way.
We do.
We don't need to decrease the officer, we need to increase the support.
Pay them. Because if you pay them, maybe they'll do their job correctly. You know what I mean? And we can't just blame everything on the police.
You know, we have these things about driving while black or racism. But here's the rule of this. If I rob you and say right now, "Don't move, give me your watch," what happens if you move? I shoot you. When a cop say freeze, don't move, what happens if you move?
When you see an officer either pulling someone over and something may just happen, they might get killed, whatever. A lot of people feel like, oh, well, you know what? I have to defend myself first.
Freeze mean don't move. Don't make sudden movement. What you driving for your camera for? What you doing all that? If I was robbing you and you did that, I would shoot you. They'll tell you to do what they say because it's a safety concern. So what makes it even different when a black man is being told to listen, let us figure out the situation. What you talking, saying, you this, that, all that ain't gonna help you, man. That's not doing nothing but escalating the situation, dumbass. But you're not about to go murder or be bad towards cops because nobody said you gotta love them. Respecting somebody ain't got to do with liking or loving. It's called respect.
Like, of course they have to do their job. Like, if somebody's gonna pull a gun on the police, of course. But I don't feel they need to kill anyone either.
As far as the police brutality that people speak of unarmed shooting, where I'm from, Missouri, we don't have those issues. We have a couple of cops that did murder somebody, and then we had a couple of cops that get shot. But I say overall, I don't think it was the cops' fault.
What do you guys think the main factor is for those numbers increasing? Do you think it's COVID, or do you think it's the movement that's happened the last couple of years?
I think it's the movement. Also, I think it is COVID. Most people are bored. They need something to do. So it's just like, of course, they're going out and doing stuff like revolting and stuff like they're yeah.
Before the pandemic, things like that weren't happening. So
I mean, all this crazy stuff happens. It's just at a lower number.
Yes, it is, and now lately, it's like it's out of control.
So you think coronavirus just kind of drove people nuts? I mean, targeting a police officer and murdering them. You think
that's a little intense.
You think COVID did that?
I do.
Do you think that the BLM or the defund the police movement sparked more hatred towards police? What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
I definitely would say in a way that has, brought that decision upon their mental and stuff like that.
That whole movement or those things just kind of got under the skin of some people that we're probably against the police to begin with, and just add a little more fuel to that fire, you know?
Police officers sometimes are a little bit afraid to act because they think it will be not a good idea because some senior officers will not be happy with them.
Do you think if they're afraid to act, do you think that's going to do more damage to the society as a whole?
Yes, of course. Of course, they need to have opportunity to use the weapon if necessary and use the force.
The reason why we're talking about this, obviously, the last couple of years, let's say unarmed Black Americans, right? That was a big thing. BLM, defund the police movement was fighting against unarmed Black Americans being shot by police, correct? Those numbers have absolutely plummeted. Now, they weren't that big to begin with, but they have literally plummeted. But the last 2 years, we're seeing numbers skyrocket for police officers being
because police are under attack, or do you think they plummeted because of us protesting against police?
I think they probably plummeted because they've done a lot more hands-off approach when it comes to policing in some communities as well. But I think also officers doesn't matter what skin color an officer is. I think most officers don't want to be that next person in the media. Right?
You know, we saw the rioting, and our daughter was in the mix of that, and it was a really tough situation. I mean, it was heartbreaking. We didn't sleep for days on end. You're constantly up, turning on the TV, looking at your phone, seeing what's going on, texting, you know, are you okay? And just waiting until there's a little moment that she can send a text, okay, because that's all she could do. I mean, and sometimes we wouldn't get anything.
All right, everyone, that is it for today. We actually had a handful of people that caught us off guard here in Los Angeles, but let me know what you guys thought about people's responses in the comment section below. Also, make sure you're taking full advantage of that discount over at itargetpro.com. Offer code Klug for 10% off. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, make sure to subscribe for more videos, and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next time I post. We'll see you guys next time.